there guys, BlackPanthaa here, welcome to another DriveClub video. Today what I wanted to do is talk about a topic that's kind of been in my mind more so recently than ever, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of discuss. Maybe you guys can put me in the right path, maybe the developers can, you know, speak out to me and let me know, because this is kind of worrying me. Now, there's a few things that make me worried as soon as I hear, especially when it comes to racing games of recent. If they mention easy to get into, hard to master handling model, you know it's going to be babyfied and they're going to remove aspects of driving altogether kind of thing. It just worries me, and I want to go over it. So let's do that right now. So first things first, the game seemed to be very focused on the hardcore at the beginning. The amount of detail they've gone into the tracks, the amount of detail they've gone into with the cars. You know, you get it to begin an event, you get into the car, you put your seatbelt on, you kind of sit behind the wheel. It's really, really great, and it makes you feel like you are in the car, you know, experiencing it fantastically. It's brilliant. But then we hear a few things that kind of put me off. So I'm going to start with the least putting me off, but kind of contributed to the whole picture. So first things first, PlayStation Plus Edition. Now, this is in no way on its own a screamer to say, it's a casual game! But it kind of contributes to the big picture. So, look at it this way, to kind of cater to the casuals, to pick up more players, they're going to have to cater to the casuals, because that's what the majority of players are. The people that will play the game until they complete it and then quit. They need to get those people in the game. And the only way to do that is by sacrificing some of the harder things when it comes to actual racing, which we'll go into a bit later. So they're basically going to have to make some sacrifices to make it easier for people to get into. So another thing is to do with the progression system. The progression is in no way bad. I mean, it's common sense, basic level progression in a racing game. You get a car, you race, you win a new car, you've eventually got all the cars, but after that, what do we do? Because not only is that the kind of the very basic, we can't upgrade cars in any way at all. The only customization we do have in the game is to do with the crew vinyls, which is going to be very limited if you're in a crew, because you cannot customize the vinyls, your crew leader has to do that. So it's kind of like complicated, really. You kind of get the cars and you stick with those cars. There's no way you can do it, and I know it's a thing because they've put so much detail into these cars. They don't want to ruin the way the cars handle. They don't want to give people an advantage over other, but that then means it is more to do with the casual side once again. So that kind of made me go bit worried about that. So another thing that's very recent was an IGN video, and they were basically discussing what's changed since the delay, and they said that the people had been given the opportunity to play the game at E3 and so on, and the main complaint was that people couldn't understand the car, and that really worried me, because he said that he's done changes to the handling model to make it easier for people to get into.
Cool. And what about anything else? Are there any other big changes that we should be looking out for?
We spent actually a lot more time on the handling. We actually got some fantastic feedback from E3 and Gamescom when the public actually got their hands on the game. But we've gone back and we've added a lot more kind of, well, it's more intuitive now, I guess is the best way to describe it. One of the things that most average gamers, you know, when they pick up and play a racing game, is trying to understand, you know, how countersteer works in cars. Yeah. At what point do you need to apply that kind of opposite lock to the cars? At what point do you need to, you know, get on the throttle? And we've done a lot in that area in particular to make sure that the average gamer can kind of be, I wouldn't say sloppy with the controls, but we're a little bit more forgiving now. Yeah. That's not to say we've kind of dumbed it down in any way, shape or form. We've absolutely made sure for the advanced user, you know, they still get that full kind of detailed handling model. But for the average user, we've wanted to make sure it's a bit more pick up and play. And I think when people get their hands on it next, whether at E3 or Gamescom, I think they'll really see the difference with the handling model. Even if you watch videos, you'll be able to see the subtle changes, the changes we've made to the tyre model, the suspension. You know, they all add up to make a big difference.
Now, they did mention, to be fair, in the video that it in no way made it ridiculously easy to do it, but at the same time, they've got to make it very easy for people to get into. So it's a very clashing thing, and it really irritates me. Unless they've done some separate handling model, which I highly doubt, it's going to be really irritating. And now from some of the new gameplay I've seen, the turning and so on looks very, very easy to do, very twitchy, in a way a car would not do that unless it's a very casual game. And the drifting, you know, you're supposed to be able to get kind of points for being able to do look well while driving or win the race. You know, you can do different categories. You can look, you know, do your drifts. You can do your spins. I don't know what you want to do, but you can do drifts and become a drift king, or kind of go up in rank because of your drifting kind of thing, and beat your friends at drifting on that corner. And from what we saw, they really didn't even put much effort into the drifting on the new gameplay that we saw. They literally tapped the brake and turned, and it looked like the tail came out. That scares the living daylights out of me. It really does, because I don't want another casual racer. Now, from what I've seen, most people that enjoy racing games are not casual, which is why I made the video a while back. I mean, it kind of makes sense for them to be a casual racing game. You know, there's Mario, that sort of thing. That's the casual of the casual. But we do not want other big, you know, really detailed, really hyped up games to be made for the casuals. And I know that sounds like selfish or whatever, but the casual market will not buy DriveClub full version. We will not. Is it going to be a case of if you get the full version, you get a better handling model? You know, it just really confuses me, because what they said in the video, they said they've got rid of some aspects of driving to make it easier for people to understand that do not drive cars on games. And it's been eating away at me for the past few days, and I really wanted to make a video about it, to ask the developers, ask you guys, you know, does this put you off? Does this make you think twice? Does this worry you in any way? And I mean, as I said, I'm all for there being casual racers, but if you really put so much detail into the cars and so much effort and time into these cars and so on, and then come out and say, we've made it for these people that don't actually play the game for more than an hour, it's just, it worries me. But I mean, we've got a lot of other racing games coming out very soon. We've got Grid Autosport, which is easily aimed towards the hardcore. We've obviously got Project Cars and a few others that are really aimed towards the hardcore. The Crew is very much aimed towards the hardcore that wants to spend a lot of time upgrading their cars and so on. No way a simulation is the say Gran Turismo or Project Cars is, but I mean, it's still a racing game that's going to have a lot of detail in the handling model, and I can't wait. But I really wanted to make this video and kind of ask what you guys think. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think it is aimed too much towards the casual? Do you think it's going to affect the gameplay? Do you think I'm just overreacting? I want to know, really. And hopefully you guys can send this video to the developers, and hopefully they actually see it on Twitter and so on. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully you enjoyed the new gameplay that I put in this video as well. I am BlackPanthaa as always, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace!